housing topic is actually a wonderful opportunity to look into the inner workings of the black box called urban growth. I mean, we think growth. What is growth? What makes it so interesting and so wild is we had this Great Recession, which really jerked things around. Whatever nice straight trends you thought you had, it does not work. We think that the Great Recession, the boom, the bust, the recovery, requires that you not do a decade-to-decade approach. Millennials are just bubbling up from below. They're coming of age and they want to launch households, and there's a lot of them. That's a big force that wasn't there before. But on top of that, we have the depressed homeownership. The downturn in homeownership turns into a lot more renters because the people who aren't homeowners become renters, and there's a lot of them. And then we have other population growth on top of that. All that's leading to increased rental demand. On the supply side, we have these opposite opposing factors. We have really depressed construction, which comes from a restricted supply of workers. There's financing and land constraints, and there might be some local political resistance. There's a lot of factors, but they're all synchronized around this recession. And any models that don't take account of the boom, the bust, and the recovery aren't really getting serious about how it really works.
In 70s and 80s, there was up and down in new construction. But in 90s, there was an unusually depressed period in terms of new construction. But what about the recent 6 years? It's 5.5 new jobs per new housing. It sounds pretty high, right? In LA. LA is even strong among top 50 metropolitan areas in the United States during recovery period. Obviously, LA is experiencing fast job growth, but relatively depressed new construction in recovery. In terms of 40 years long-run LA ratio, 1.8 new jobs per new housing, there should have been almost tripled building permits in the last 6 years after 2010.
The thing is this, that's really not necessarily an accurate estimate, because a lot of people who live in houses don't have jobs. In our aging society, we have massive numbers of retirees who are sitting on pretty nice houses. So what do you do with them? These people who are living in the housing that's new, if you don't build it, where do they go? They go into the old housing. So it's a problem, and building housing for rich people, I think, is a great idea. Keep them away from the working class housing. Keep them away from the middle class housing. If you don't build it, they're still going to come. And that's a challenge for us to live with.